How's it, everybody? Welcome back to the Rocky Fern. My name is Luca and I have OI type 4, and on today's episode of Show Me the Green we have the Begonia amphioxus. This is an awesome plant. Let's get into it. Here we go, guys. This is it. This is the Begonia amphioxus. I got this quite a while ago from a company on Etsy called Fresh from the Greenhouse. They're based out of Florida. I ordered some other plants. Awesome experience. So another quality Etsy shop and a really pleasurable experience. And I got this. I'll post a picture right here of what the plant looked like when I got it. It was a lot smaller, and I hadn't had amphioxus prior to that, and so I was nervous because everything I had been reading was stating that it's a high humidity needing plant, kind of a terrarium specimen. But then I was learning more about the amphioxus through YouTube videos and other YouTubers, and it looked like they were having great success with it. And this plant has proven no different. So originally I kept it in a vivarium and then kind of into another semi-vivarium with lower humidity, and now I just keep it out on the back porch. As we transitioned from spring into summer, the intensity of the sun obviously got quite a bit more. So the leaves went from this kind of lime green color to a paler color, and I'm going to move it back to a little bit shadier spot, but not too far from where it is currently. But you can tell that it is loving where it is right now. It's a super hardy plant. I love the cascading effect that it has. From the side you can see that some of the stems drop down and start to spread out like in a palm-like fashion, and others start to rise up, and it gives you this very full kind of bonsai cascade look to it. And I really enjoy this plant. I really don't worry about it at all. We have had a very wet spring following a very wet winter, and I hadn't needed to water this plant at all. And even though it was getting inundated with quite a bit of rain, it was doing fine. And I've had to water it just a couple times during the weeks that we actually don't get any rain, which has been rare. And it fluctuates in humidity from 40%. I think the other day we were actually at 35%. We had some strong trades, all the way up to near saturation, which would be 100%. And it has done great. Not only that, but it's bloomed, and it's blooming a lot. When I was first doing my research, they were saying that it blooms a green flower, which I was very excited for. This one doesn't do a green flower. I'll post some pictures. I'll do the male flower right here. I was able to do some pretty cool macro photos of the male, and then I'll do the female photo right here. And the female photo, I wasn't able to do as much stacking as I was on the male, but you can still see they're gorgeous flowers. And speaking of the flowers, begonias are monoecious, meaning one plant will have male and female flowers on the same plant. And you can actually cross-pollinate those. The seeds are very tiny for a begonia, which is standard, but they're very tiny, dust-like. And the female flowers, you can always tell female flower because they have the ovary above the flower, and male flowers will have just the flower. So if you're unfamiliar with telling male and female flowers apart on pretty much all flowers, the male flower you can see here, as I'll post again, there is no ovary above it, whereas the female flower, you have that big giant ovary above it, which will, once pollinated, will swell and start producing seeds. I also will post a picture right here of a close-up of the leaves. It's one of the coolest leaf structures and leaf patterns on any of the begonias, and begonias as a whole have really cool, really pretty patterns. But you can see here that it's got that red outline and the pink dots, which gives it its other nickname, which is the pink spot or the red spot begonia. And a lot of people comment on how this thing looks toxic, and at first I kind of got that. I was thinking that amphioxus alluded to the look of it looking maybe toxic, but actually amphioxus means, it's another way of saying peltate, or pointed at both the top and bottom, both sides of the leaf. This is a kind of a smaller type of begonia, so I don't have very many leaves that are bigger than this guy right here, and I'll come up close to it so you can see it. Oh, sorry. Right there. Oh, I just broke it. So, yeah. It's a smaller begonia. This plant is almost a year old, and it is a little bit slower growing. I haven't actually had any cuttings come from this plant. But you know what growth it does put out, it's hardy and beautiful to look at, and it's blooming, like I said, a lot. I haven't noticed a smell with this one, and I also haven't noticed any pests. Some of my other begonias have had some whitefly issues. No whitefly, no pests to even speak of. Even slugs haven't really bothered this plant, which I deal with quite a bit of slugs. With all the rain that we've had a lot of mosquitoes. I keep playing around with the different filming setups, and I did film this video once before, but for some reason the sound didn't come through. So instead of voicing over a video, which would have made it kind of weird, I'm out here in the mosquito garage doing one more, doing the mosquito slap dance. But I really wanted to show you guys this begonia. It is so pretty. Stay tuned, because I have a Hoya that's about to open some blooms, and that will be the next video that I cannot wait for. But if you like what you see, as always, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next adventure.